Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you're all doing good today. So today I'm gonna do a little spiritual talk, I guess, and I know some of you don't relate to that as well. Most of you, I think, do, but I'm not gonna deny what God put on my heart to say. So I was just thinking about some things this morning, and of course I'm going to talk about prepping and, you know, getting your house in order and being prepared for what is coming, because the Bible tells us exactly what is coming. I mean, we have a blueprint. We don't need to guess. We already know what's going to happen. So if God allowed the Bible to be written and the story to be told, why wouldn't we refer to that for what the future holds for us? And it tells us that things are going to get really rough. So of course we're going to prep. And God put it on my heart to begin prepping in the way that I have been just in the last couple of years. It's been a little over 2 years. But anyway, when I talk about prepping, I realize that not everybody can prep at the same level. Not everybody has the same ways and means. And I just want to encourage you that not everybody is meant to prep in the same way or to the same level. You know, God put us in these times for a reason. We have to be pretty honored by that. We're here for a reason during these times. And, you know, you may not be able to have a whole year's worth of food supply, 2 years worth of food supply, 10 years worth of food supply, but God has another purpose for you. You might be an incredible seamstress, which we will need. You might have a green thumb and be able to grow food, which we will need. You may be a nurturer. You may know the Bible front to back. Everybody will have their purpose, and not everybody's purpose is going to be the same, but we will need to come together. God's people will need to come together. So everything that you're storing back, everything that you're preparing is, I hate to say it, it's not only for you, because God has a purpose for all of us. You may be a nurse and you will know how to care for people if they get injured. I mean, just think about what God has prepared you for and pray about what He has put on your heart to be your purpose in these times. And it's different for everybody, like I said. So don't feel like, oh, I'm ill prepared because I don't have enough stuff or enough food. Think about how you can use the skills that God gave you and the experiences that God gave you to fulfill your purpose in these times. When I was in my young 20s, when I was a carefree traveling hippie child, at one point I found myself working at a wilderness lodge in the backwoods of Southern Oregon on the Rogue River, and it was the most beautiful place ever. I love and I remember that place very fondly. But I worked in a wilderness lodge, and there was no coming and going. You were there, you were living there, you were working there. The only way out was on a boat, helicopter, or hiking out. And so I spent a lot of time when I was not working hiking. And one day I remember hiking up this trail, and it came to like a crest point where I was looking down at the Rogue River, and I was looking down at this beautiful bend. And I just sat up there and I was looking at it, and I was in awe of the beauty. And at this time in my life, honestly, I did not know God. I didn't know what Jesus had done for us. I didn't know the Bible at all. I was very naive. But anyway, I was sitting up there just looking down at the river, and I'm playing around with the dirt below me, and I'm just moving the dirt around with a stick, and I find this arrowhead, an Indian arrowhead, which is rare. It's kind of hard to find them, honestly. And I was like, oh my gosh, look at this. And I picked it up, and sometime about that same moment, I look out onto the river, and I I got this message. I don't know. It was the voice of God, but not an audible voice. It was just like I don't know how to describe it, but it was so very clear to me. And the voice was, you're going to feed people. And that's it. You're going to feed people. And I felt like these chills come over my body, and I didn't, like I said, I was not a spiritual person. Well, I wasn't spiritual the way that I am now. We'll say that. I was a young hippie child. But I never, ever will forget that moment, that feeling, that message that I got, that I will feed people. And I went along so many years in my life thinking, I'm probably going to own a restaurant, or I'm going to have a homeless shelter or a soup kitchen or something like that. I'm going to feed people. And maybe that might be part of it, but I don't believe so. I believe it has to do with these times now. And anyway, so I went for that little hike. As I was going back down the mountain, I see this little placard nailed to a tree, and it said Indian Vision Quest. And it named, I don't know, it named the vision quest that it was, but I was like, Indian Vision Quest, what is that? And I did some research on it, and it turns out that the Native Americans would go on these vision quests when they came of age, and it was a certain time in their life when they would go out on their own into the wilderness, on a hike. They would not eat, you know, they would put themselves in a state of fasting and go out to receive their vision, the vision for their life. And it gives me chills right now just thinking about it, because when I went up the mountain, up that trail, I hadn't seen this placard. I didn't see it until I came down the hill. And yeah, I believe I received my vision that day. And we all have a different vision, but I want to encourage you guys to go on your vision quest. See what it is that God has for you, because He has a purpose for you for these specific times. And it might not even be what you're doing right now for a career. It might be totally different. It might be something that you have a passion for on the side. But figure out what that is and hone that skill, because we will need you. We will all need each other. And yeah, I guess that's about it. We know what's coming. It's already been written. So prepare yourself. And don't do it with fear, because the whole story's already written and we know how it ends. And I guess that's about it. Hope you guys have a good day.